I have never been the best at anything, nothing. Not the star, not the favorite, not even the most reliable, not the smartest, not the prettiest, not a standout in any room. I was the person standing behind the person that people noticed. A human backdrop, if you will. The one that they forgot that they'd already introduced. If I was an award, I would be most likely to have assisted the person who actually won. I wasn't even the best at quitting. I'd give up halfway through giving up. I was just competent, chronically mediocre, the human equivalent of a C+. If my life had a color, it would have been beige. Hi, I'm Sheila. I've got a PhD in shit that makes no sense. Life, people, expectations, and 55 years of stories, scars, and sarcasm to back it all up. Trust me, I have tested all the wrong ways to feel enough. Everyone else seemed to have something, a talent, a glow, a direction, and I was just there trying to figure out what to do with my hands. I thought maybe I missed the day that they handed out talent, like I was in line for snacks or something, and then I came back with imposter syndrome in a fun-size bag. It sounds funny now, but it haunted me for decades. I thought that my average was proof of a defect, that being ordinary meant that I was somehow unfinished. Like maybe God just looked at me and thought, it's probably fine. It's fine. The scary part isn't feeling average. It's realizing how much of your life that you gave away trying not to be. Even now, I'll see someone who seems effortless, confident, crisp, like they were built to handle life. And that old voice in my head still whispers, see, that's what normal looks like. But the dangerous part isn't hearing the voice. It's what you start trading to silence it. And we're going to talk about that later. Somewhere along the way, I learned that being enough meant that you had to be impressive. It was a competition. Apparently existing wasn't the assignment. There was a talent show that nobody told me about. The world hands out gold stars early, and if you don't get one, you spend the rest of your life trying to earn it retroactively. Like there's still some teacher out here that's updating your permanent record. And if I couldn't be impressive, I'd at least try to be useful. That became my currency. Being useful was my audition for love. I became the helper, the fixer, the one who didn't need much, because if I took up less space, maybe someone would look at me and say, you're special. I tried on personalities like clearance rack jeans, hoping that one would finally fit right. Some were too tight, some were too baggy. All of them gave me emotional camel toe. I even went through a phase where I thought that being mysterious could be my skill set. Turns out that oversharers can't be very mysterious. No. I carried this with me everywhere, into friendships, into relationships, into every job where I overworked just to feel tolerated. If anxiety were a personality type, I'd be an influencer. Which is basically what I tell people in my one-on-ones. Book a time if you need someone to confirm that you've officially turned trying too hard into a lifestyle. The link is in the description. When you grow up believing that you have to earn your place, average feels like exile. And for decades, I mistook ordinary for broken. I thought that if I could just find the thing that I was best at, I'd finally stop feeling this way. I eventually did find it. It was self-doubt. Nailed it. But the truth is, being ordinary doesn't mean that you failed. I wasn't broken. I was raised in a culture that thinks that average is an insult. Now, my turning point showed up on Facebook because, of course, it did. I'm scrolling through my feed and I'm thinking about what I'm going to post to make it look like I'm spectacular. And then it hit me. I'm not spectacular. I'm not at peace. I'm not the thing. I realized I wanted more than anything to stop feeling like my life was proof I failed. That's when I started asking myself the hard-ish questions, like, where's the evidence that everyone has this special thing and you don't? That everyone can effortlessly be confident and accomplished and you aren't? Where's that evidence that you are indeed broken? Is the evidence a social media post? No, stop it. Stop it. I've seen people post inspirational quotes while knowing that they are actively ruining someone else's life. The people who seem effortlessly confident are probably just better at hiding their panic. The people who seem accomplished are probably still Googling symptoms of a burnout while answering work emails. I'm curious, what's your version of that? The thing that you keep doing just so it looks like you've got it together. I'll see you in the comments. Now, it's not that everyone else is better. It's that we've all gotten good at curating proof. But behind that proof, nobody feels chosen. Everyone's scared that they peaked at 14. And honestly, some of us did peak at a middle school talent show and have been winging it ever since. Picture it. It was 1984. Purple Rain was everything. My friends and I thought doing a full dance routine to Sex Shooter in lingerie at the school talent show was a great idea. I don't know where our parents were, but I'm positive they weren't proud. I'm pretty sure that after that, every school in the district had to start approving talent show acts. You're welcome, America. That was probably the last time that I felt accidentally confident. Completely delusional, but confident. It's funny now, but the put-together ones were probably comparing themselves to someone else too. If this is resonating, hit the subscribe button. It tells YouTube that I'm not just trauma dumping into the void. The whole world is a circle of people pretending to be the person someone else pretended to be first. And here's the part that gets me. Even after copious amounts of therapy, after 55 years of living, I can still fall for it. You'd think that decades of receipts would buy wisdom. Nope, just buys me some self-awareness with an attitude problem. I'll see someone thriving and I'll think, see, you're still behind, Sheila, you're behind. But then I remember, behind what? There's no scoreboard for humanity. We just made one up to keep ourselves busy. It turns out that the only thing more universal than insecurity is pretending that you don't have it. Here's the thing. The lie is that you have to be extraordinary to be worthy. The truth is, ordinary people built everything while the visionaries were still talking about it. The older I get, the more I realize that mediocrity isn't failure. You're not supposed to be exceptional at everything. You're supposed to be alive in it. You're supposed to have average days, messy rooms, one good skill, and 5 that you're terrible at, but you like doing anyway. The world runs on average people showing up. Half the planet is powered by, that's good enough. And if you've worked in corporate America, you know what I'm saying is true. Every doctor, every teacher, every person keeping the lights on, all of them are just doing their best while doubting themselves. The same as me, the same as you. Sometimes I still feel like that kid trying to earn gold stars, but now I can see the absurdity. Because I spent half my life trying to be the best, when most people can't even define what that means. The best at what, actually? Pretending? Functioning? Remembering passwords? That's what I was trading. Peace, time, parts of myself I never got back, just to try to quiet a voice that never shut up anyway. I've met enough people to know that even the ones who win don't always feel like winners. Now, when that voice creeps back in, you know the one that says, you should be further, right? You should be more. You're just so average. I recognize it for what it is, an old narrator that hasn't realized that my story has changed. That narrator still thinks that there's a prize. There isn't. It's just laundry and insomnia. All right, so here's my hot take. There's a certain peace in realizing that you might never be exceptional. So no, I'm not the best. I never was, but I'm not broken and neither are you. I think that it gave me insight into why I can now see everyone else so clearly. You can't see humanity from a pedestal, you see it from the crowd. The view's better down here anyways. Fewer spotlights and more snacks. Because the people who are exceptional spend the rest of their lives trying to stay there. And that sounds exhausting to me. I just had to learn to stand where I am. No applause, no highlight reel, just here. And it turns out that just here is wildly underrated. And honestly, it feels pretty good to finally be okay with ordinary. Now, if you've ever felt like you missed the day that they handed out worth, you didn't. You were probably just too in your head to notice that you already had it. And that's the punchline, isn't it? We spend half of our lives hunting for proof of what was never missing. The thing that nobody tells you is that once you finally stop performing, once you make peace with being ordinary, the quiet starts to get kind of loud. You start hearing everything that you've buried under ambition, under effort, under survival. And that's when it hits you. Peace isn't the ending, it's the aftershock. Let's talk about that right now.